Hi, Brian McAboy here with Inside Out Trading. I teach traders how to make their profits so predictable that they can quit their day job without fear. Now, today we're going to talk about this is one of the most important questions you can ever pursue or consider as a trader. And this is a critical question that most traders, particularly the ones that are struggling for a long time, fail to ask. And there's different aspects to it. So make sure you stick around. There's three different aspects to it. So make sure you stick around for this, all three of them, because they all matter and they all impact how difficult it is to make consistent profits. Now, so when you first considered even pursuing trading, you probably were already doing something else, not trading. You probably had a different occupation. Maybe you find yourself in a position where you had been in a career and you got laid off, the company downsized, whatever, and then you're sitting there and you got a window of opportunity here. You're saying, hey, I got this time. I want to pursue trading. I'd love to be able to trade for a living and not have to go back and take the job. Or maybe you are trading, you are still working and you want to be able to quit. But here's the thing. What you're doing probably is not really much like trading. More than likely, you're an engineer, you're a professional, project manager, doctor, lawyer. But what you're doing is it's not like trading. It's more of a regular job working in another company, and the functions are totally different. And so you've got this opportunity, and you want to seize it. And so one of the first questions you have to ask yourself is, okay, as the business investor, because you are the one investing in your trading business, you're the one funding it, even if you're funding getting yourself into a big prop firm. But anyway, the thing is, you're now in the position of being a business investor. And if you're a business investor, and this is common practice with investors, angel investors, VCs, venture capitalists, banks, when somebody comes to them with a business idea, one of the first questions out of their mouth is, do you have a business plan? Have you thought this through so that you can actually have a chance of making it a successful venture? Do you have a plan on paper where you've actually thought it through? And on the odd chance that you have, cool. Now, with the standard business plan, and unfortunately, most traders have not actually put together like an honest business plan. It doesn't have to be a 30-page document, but at least thinking it through and with some reasonable financial projections and how you're going to achieve those projections. Anyway, the being in the position of the investor, you say, yeah, do you have a plan? And if with most anybody else that you would go ask for money to invest in your business, if you don't have a business plan, they're going to say, just go away. I don't care what your idea is. We're not even going to have the conversation until you have a plan. Now, presuming that you say, you go to somebody, or they say, come back with a plan, you write up a plan, you go back. A standard business plan, usually, or at least in a traditional business plan, the very first section is probably the most critical. And it's the executive summary. Who's going to be executing this plan? Who's going to be running the business? And the reason it comes first is because even if you have a great plan, if you don't have qualified people executing it, the odds again are thin and you might as well stop there. Seriously, you can have a great plan, but if the person and the people you have running it, executing it, aren't qualified, the odds are thin of its success. Same thing goes for trading. So many of us, and I did the same thing. I'm not judging. I did the same thing. We look at trading and it's so easy to underestimate it, to oversimplify the situation and say, oh, sure, buy low, sell high. Yeah, I'm looking at how trading works. I get it. I know what I'm supposed to do. I can do that. And so we think we can just stroll in there. And because there are no barriers to entry, it feels very entry level. Sure, no qualifications needed. Come on in. But the thing is, you are running a business, and this is a business that's a self-employed profession, a skilled profession. And so the big question, the traders never ask themselves, and again, I did the same thing, I'm not judging, but this is a super important question. What qualifications am I bringing to the job? Am I qualified to do this job? Do I have the skills to execute this well, to do it and do it well? And if you don't, and I didn't, and if you don't, okay, recognize it. Say, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. These are the financial objectives I have. I'd really like to get to where I'm making 10 grand a month so I can quit my day job and live comfortably. 10 grand a month is not super crazy big dollars. It'll afford you a nice living. You're not getting super rich, but that's a good starting point. But the thing is, it's like, how are you going to make 10 grand with your trading? Have you thought it through how in the heck you're going to get there? And what kind of person, what kind of skills are you going to need to make it happen? As a trader, there's a whole range of skills we need. You need the business acumen, of course, because again, you are running a business. You want this to be an organized financial ongoing concern. And so you got to be able to organize the business. You got to be able to run the business. But then you also have to be able to do the thing of the business, the trading. And again, the trading requires more skill than just being like, if you wanted to run any other business, of course, you need to have people doing the thing of the business, and they need to have the skills for doing the thing of the business. Again, this isn't entry level where you can just bring anybody in. They're unskilled. They have no training. Figure it out as you go. Well, as you as the trader, you can't do the same thing to yourself, and you're doing it to you as the business owner. Dude, no, you want to make sure the person doing the trading knows what the heck they're doing. They've gotten the proper training. They have the full range of skills and proficiency and understanding to be good at this, right? You want the person doing your trading to be qualified and be good, right? Not just, you wouldn't just bring somebody in and they're like, oh, I don't know anything about trading, but I'll figure it out. I'll watch some YouTube videos. I'll attend some webinars, and then yeah, sure, I'll manage your 50,000 or 100,000 or $250,000 account. No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't hand them your money and say, here, go for it. But the thing is, I did the same thing. I funded my account and I put a rookie, a rank newbie, in charge of doing the trading. That was me at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. And so it's super important you ask yourself, yeah, what qualifications do I bring? What kind of training have I actually received? Is the training that I've received, was it just how to use a particular strategy? Or was I being taught how to be a good trader, how to organize the business, how to think it through, how to select a strategy in the first place? Did anybody teach you that? It's like, how do you choose? How do you choose the strategy you're going to use in the first place? How do you organize your business? What kind of capital are you going to need? What kind of trading activity or level of activity are you going to need to achieve your financial objectives? What are you going to trade? There's a whole myriad of questions that you have to filter through. And then there are skills that go with it. Once you got it sorted out, okay, this is how I want my business to run. This is how we're going to achieve it. These are my trading hours. Then you also have to have the skill to go in there and say, oh, yeah, this is how I'm going to choose a strategy. So I'm going to take that strategy, build a solid process on it that produces consistent results. I'm going to prove it out. I'm going to skill up with it. I'm going to make sure that my trader is mentally conditioned and properly trained to execute well. These are all skill sets I'm talking about here. These aren't just things to do. These are skill sets, as you've come to learn if you've been trading for any time at all. All this stuff, it's like the what to do is easy. It's how to do it, and how to be good at it is the challenge. Again, one of the most important things in any endeavor, but especially in trading and business, you got to be brutally honest with yourself. If you're coming into trading and you don't have the skills that this job requires, don't beat yourself up. Say, all right, where am I going to get the skills so that I can be good at this, so that I do know what I'm doing, so that I do have a solid handle on it, and I can look at my future as a trader and feel optimistic, because now I am properly prepared for this job. And it's not just going to be 20 years of taking beatings for me to mature into that. So if you'd like to find out more about this, is what I do. I teach traders how to get there quickly, how to become a winning trader, how to become a successful trader. Give you the skill sets that you need, both the business side, if that's what you want to pursue, or the trading side. I teach what's called engineered profits. This is where we go into it by design, and we put together, we're going to make sure your business is organized, and then we make sure you have the skills to go in here and be good at it, and know you're good at it, and know you're solid. You know how to take a strategy, any strategy, not just some guy who's clever over here sitting in front of the estate in the rented Lambo, neither of which he owns. No, this is how you become a self-sufficient trader, where again, you know what you're doing, you have a handle on it, you understand what's getting you there and how to go about this in a knowing manner. Not hoping, not guessing, not going on the claims of others. You know how to stand on your own 2 feet and make it as a trader. Again, if this sounds of interest to you, you don't want to just keep chasing strategies or trying to figure out how to be more disciplined and control your emotions. You actually want to get good at this so it gets easy. And swing by InsideOutTrading.com. You can book a call with me. I've got a scorecard there. It'll help you identify your blind spots, the things that you haven't been seeing. and these blind spots have been sabotaging your trading. I've got a whole bunch of resources for you there. Swing by InsideOutTrading.com. I got videos, I got reports, I got guides, lots of free resources for you. And again, if you want my help, working with me, book a call with me. And even if I'm not the one to help you, get good help. This is not a job you can just figure out. It takes forever to just figure it out. You need the help if you don't want it to take 10 years. So swing by InsideOutTrading.com. Love to help you out. In the meantime, give me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Share it with your friends. Leave me a comment down below. Anyway, I look forward to talking to you. Talk to you soon. Cheers.